get going here. Montana hosts North Dakota State this week in the FCS semifinal game. We've got Keelan White, receiver. We've got Coach Hauck, and we've got Riley Wilson, linebacker, here with us today. And Coach, we'll just start with you. Montana advancing to the semifinal, obviously a great win over Furman. Your final thoughts on that game and your initial thoughts on taking on the Bison.
You bet. Thanks, Tabes. In regard to the Furman game, it was a great football game. It was really hard fought by both teams. We overcame some obstacles and got a huge win. I'm very proud of our team. We've been in the quarterfinal 3 of the last 4 years, and it was great to get that win. So kind of wild to have a punt return touchdown and a kickoff return touchdown in the same playoff game. But that was a good job by our guys getting that done and putting points on the board there. And then as we've gotten into North Dakota State, obviously we watched them on Saturday. They played really well at South Dakota. It was a dominating win over the number 3 ranked team in the country. And, they look like they're the team to beat in this playoff to me right now. So they're playing great. They're big and physical. They're really, really well coached. They just do a lot of things right. That's why they're where they are. Defensively, they lead the nation in interceptions. They play hard. They tackle well. They control the line of scrimmage. It's kind of who they are, and that's their DNA. Offensively, they're highly ranked in all the relevant categories: rushing, scoring, total offense. I think they're 3rd in scoring, 4th in rushing. Quarterback Miller's playing at a really high level. I think he's the best we've seen by a large margin to date. He's played great all year and is playing his best of the year, I think, right now would be my guess watching the games I've watched. They're just outstanding. So this is a huge challenge and we have our work cut out for us this week, and we need a good week of preparation, and it should be a great game Saturday afternoon.
Question.
Bobby, it kind of struck me looking at Junior Bergen had been tied with Levander Seegers, Mark Mariani, and Jerry Louis McGee for the punt returns at 3 before he broke the school record Saturday. But you had coached all 3 of those guys, at least part of their career, and now Junior. So what do you see from Junior that kind of separates him as a punt returner?
Well, all those guys, they're good in the punt return game for numerous reasons. One is they catch the ball cleanly and secure it, so they get that is the first order of business. They get to stay back there, and then they have the ability to see what's happening in front of them. Got a little make you miss ability. All 4 of those guys, they're good at it. And it's not all great punt returners or great kick returners and vice versa. Mark was obviously pretty good at both, even though we didn't return him on kicks much. Those guys are all pretty good players, and Junior's got those abilities.
And could you touch on, obviously it takes the other 10 guys around him to make those plays happen. Could you just touch on how that punt return as a unit has played this year to be able to return 2 of them?
Yeah, I think typical of all plays in football, I mean, that's no exception. It takes everybody doing their job. And I think our guys on that team give great effort, and they understand what we're trying to do. I mean, we ran 4 different calls in the game last Saturday and had success in a couple of them. We blocked a punt a week ago, same group of guys, and it set up nice.
And then for Hank News from Kalispell to come back and play, could you kind of talk about his path back to being able to contribute on Saturday, and just what did it mean to you to see him perform the way he did?
Well, what it meant to me is we had increased depth on our defensive front. That always helps in a game, especially as you get to this time of year when everybody's banged up. And what was the other part?
just the path for him to get back and be able to contribute this season.
Yeah, he had surgery in August and was able to rehab. He worked really hard at it and was cleared to play and got a chance to get in the game.
Riley, could you speak to Hank, just working with him in practice, just kind of?
I got the injury stuff and the depth. So these guys talk about them. I talk about the players.
I was just going to ask what he saw out of Hank in practice and just his desire to get back. But if you want to take that and just
Sure.
if you talk about the work he put in it in
Big-
practice and how long has he been practicing to be able to get into being ready to play again?
Yeah, I'd be glad to answer that. He worked really hard in his rehab. He came back and worked his way back in the mix. And, the big thing is being cleared to play and then being ready physically to do it. And, obviously worked really hard to do that.
And you guys played North Dakota State last year. When you watch them on film this year, how do they compare to the team you guys saw last year?
There's some distinct similarities in how they do things and who they are physically. Obviously, they have a bunch of returning people that played against us last year.
Coach, your quarterback's so efficient. Is there something they do to scheme it up like that, or is that just him making the right reads? Why is he so efficient with the ball?
You talking about Miller?
Yeah, Cam Miller.
Yeah. Well, he's a good player, first of all. Second, he's an accurate thrower. He's a good athlete. He runs the ball well. But it's all set up off their run game. They're very multiple. And if you don't stop the run game, they'll just keep doing it. And so then the play-action pass, the bootleg game, all that stuff plays off the run game.
With the two quarterbacks, they bring in Cole Payton sometimes. What sort of challenges does he present a run defense?
Well, they do all the that's really, from our standpoint, it's all the same plays. It's just a different guy back there doing it. So, they bring him in. That'd be a question for Coach Hance. Why they do it, how they do it.
Bradley, you guys have played two quarterback systems before. How do you think that's prepared you for this? And, what sort of challenges a two quarterback system?
Just like Coach said, it doesn't really change anything schematically wise, but whenever he's in, we obviously know it's going to be more heavier run for quarterback power. So just make sure we're more efficient in our gap scheme and just make sure we're in the right spot.
Coach, third downs, they've been so good offensively on third downs. You guys have been great defensively as well. So what do you think of that part of the matchup?
Well, we haven't planned that yet, so I haven't really watched it. I know what the numbers are just like you do. I'll know what the film says, tonight, tomorrow. That's when we do that. But, got to get off the field. They have always been awfully effective in third down because they're so good running the ball on first and second down. They get into second and short, third and short. They just don't get behind the chains very often. Now, to start the game last week, they got behind the chains. They were like 3rd and 23 or something and hit a ball down the field and got rolling. And I don't think they ever slowed down the rest of the game. So, making teams punt or coming up with takeaways is a big deal. And, we're trying to do that, and they're doing it really well.
Keelan, what do you think of just the opportunity of having North Dakota State, a team with so much prestige, coming to Missoula to play you guys?
We're excited. We were it was a tough loss last year in the locker room at halftime. I know we were pretty close with them, but we've been looking forward to getting them again for quite a long time now, so we're excited.
Hey, Bobby, what do you think of the opportunity to have North Dakota State in Missoula?
Oh, it's great. We're glad to be coaching and playing this week.
Keelan, you kind of touched on it, obviously, that you guys played them last year. So how much is that fueling for this game, and just how much do you guys kind of just leave that in the past and focus on this week like you have with some other teams you played this year that you've seen in the past too?
Yeah, just got to prepare as we do. It kind of just leave that in the back of our mind for now and get ready to go and get prepared.
Just want to ask about this last game too, that overtime sequence. Can you just walk us through those plays, why everything was working, and then your touchdown? Just seems like you guys were just clicking right as overtime got started.
Yeah, it was a great series. They were able to get the first down, which I think was huge, to be able to set up some other stuff, and then so.
Riley, you're obviously experiencing FCS playoffs for the first time too. So just one, what's it like? And then do you know much about North Dakota State aside from their storied history? What do you kind of know about them going into it?
It's just crazy to think. I mean, a year ago I was in the portal. Glory to God for me to be sitting here in this the position I am right now. I do know they're a dynasty, but it's just a great opportunity for this team. They're a good team, so for them to come in here and just for us just to showcase what we can do.
Just being on this playoff run, just what's it been like from your perspective, the team? Just what's this been like, and especially getting to do it here in Missoula?
Oh, it's a blessing. Everything I dreamed of when just as a little kid wanted to play college football. It's been awesome just to be part of this team and just these guys making memories. It's just been really fun.
Coach, what defensively, when you look at them, what stands out on that side of the ball?
Well, the interception total's probably first. I think 31's leading the nation himself. But they have, I don't know, it's 21 or 22 picks, which is a big deal. A lot of that's because they're getting pressure up front. And the other thing is how their front guys control the line of scrimmage and the tackling. So, I mean, all those things I just said mean they've got a pretty good defense.
Keelan, what's it been like just as a wide receiver group, and how you feel like you guys have maybe improved as the season has gone on and being able to go out there and make plays?
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys in our room. We've got a really tight-knit group of guys. We all support each other. We all feed off each other. So it's great. I love being in that room.
And you guys obviously have been very balanced on offense all year, but when the running game maybe isn't going, what was that like knowing like, hey, we're going to take it upon ourselves that we need to get open to big plays in the pass?
Yeah, that's the benefit of having a balanced offense, and I would say balanced team is one area struggles. Like one standard of our offense is multiplicity, so we can excel in those other areas.
And what's it like just being in this position? You're hosting a semifinal game. You're one win away from being able to play for a national championship. Like, what is that like as a player?
I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be playing another week, and yeah.
Rather maybe, same to you when it's, not a bowl game and you have the opportunity to play for a national championship with a win. Like, what is that like for you?
It's just awesome. This team's worked so hard just to get to this moment, and just for us to be in the position where we are, it's really cool to have, and we just got to get it done.
And obviously playing maybe a few more games than you're used to at the other level. Like, what's that like overall? I know everyone's kind of banged up this time of year, but what is that like trying to get the body ready?
Just more recovery, hitting the ice tubs, just doing a lot more stretching and stuff. And it's a longer season, but it's definitely worth it.
Coach, obviously Junior Bergen's had a great year in the return game, but NDSU, they got a good punt returner as well. He had one on Saturday. What kind of stands out about him and their return game?
Well, I think they're well coordinated, first of all, both punt and kick return. They're really productive. The big play's always there. Kind of like us, I guess. The potential for it's always there. I think their returners have an understanding what they're trying to do, where they're trying to hit it. Very good. Their eyes, they have their eyes in a certain spot, and they know where it's likely to be. And the thing that really sticks out is the guys that are blocking for them work really hard at it. They work really hard at it.
Is there anything, Coach, that they are doing differently than they did in the beginning of the season to kind of get them rolling that stands out?
Well, I haven't really. I mean, it's Monday. I haven't watched the early season games yet, so it's hard to answer. But they're playing their best football right now, which is what you want to do. They're playing well. I'm sure that's by design. They're not trying to play their best games of the year in September. I mean, they kind of, like us, they kind of play to win those games. They play a lot of people. Try to stay healthy through September and October and come out with enough wins and then make a charge in November, and that's exactly what they did.
Anybody else? Thanks, guys.